Previously, the group returned to the Wyvern's Claw, only to discover that Taria wasn't there. They needed to hand over the stolen goods to the Raven's Hive as soon as possible, so they decided to deal with her being gone, and whatever inevitable chaos that was going to lead to, after getting rid of the incriminating evidence. The group headed to the headquarters to turn over everything, only for the criminal organization to turn on them and want to kill them to clean up loose ends. Of course, it wasn't personal, it was just business. A fight started with a member of the group using blatant magecraft during it. Partway through, the city guards showed up with Taria leading them, which answered the question of where she'd gone. The guards rounded up all of the members of the Raven's Hive and their various illegal goods before taking the group to the barracks for individual questioning. While it was clear the captain of the guards knew significantly more about what was going on than the group would like, he agreed to count them as informants. The group headed back to the inn, where several people let into Taria, pointing out that she'd put them all at risk. Sean especially wasn't happy with her, making it clear that she had a very large family who were already in danger because of the group's actions, and now Taria had possibly put them in the notice of the Raven's Hive as well. Keelan pointed out that the group as a whole had a tendency to take actions that would affect everyone without actually asking everyone what they think. Once everyone else had left to go to bed, some more angrily than others, Keelan and Taria had a quiet talk where he pointed out that he understood she didn't have a lot of life experience, but she needed to remember that others in the group had very different lives than her. The next morning, Sean went to pick up the newspaper and was pulled aside by the Luminous. They weren't thrilled with her finding loopholes in their orders, but they acknowledged that it was their fault for leaving those loopholes in, so she wasn't going to be punished for them. This time. The loophole she'd found was quickly closed, though, so she wouldn't be able to use that particular one again. They also weren't happy with the fact that Taria had almost gotten the group arrested, but they were willing to let it slide for now, since in the end the downfall of the Raven's Hive benefited them. They did have another job for the group to make up for it, though. Sean was told that there were monsters in the catacombs under the temple that the Luminous wanted the group to take care of, and it sounded suspiciously like Shadowspawn. It was unclear whether they knew about the group's previous interactions with the Shadow Spawn or if it was just a coincidence, but Sean didn't ask. Instead, she simply went back to the others and explained the situation. The group did some shopping and gathered some information for their future travels before heading to the temple. They tried to find the local breaker bar to better ensure they didn't step on any toes, but they weren't able to do so. Sean was able to convince the Illuminator, a very young woman, to let them try to help with the infestation in the tombs. She gave them some holy water and a map before unlocking the gate to let them in. And that is where we left off.